Kurt Cobain often kept his lyrics vague and open for interpretation.
In Teen Spirit, you seem to complain about the apathy of our generation. Is that right?
Whatever you want to make out of it, it's up to you.
And do you share the...
It's your crossword puzzle.
To understand Kurt's lyrics, we need to look at his ideas and his main concerns when looking at the world around him. The draft lyrics of Smells Like Teen Spirit actually refer to these topics more than the final version.
What are the things that make your anger explode?
Gluttony. I think one of the main diseases, one of the most important diseases that we're against is gluttony.
Sorry?
Gluttony, consumerism, that kind of stuff. I think that's one of the first problems that should be dealt with. First problems that should be done away with.
Kurt mentioned this term gluttony in many interviews, and it also appears many times in his journal. It's closely linked to consumerism, with Kurt saying, "I prefer to hate gluttony more than desire. Gluttony is the worst of all evils, wanting more than you need." That may have something to do with the meaning of Nirvana. However, his lyrics don't refer to it directly, or you need to kind of dig into them to find elements of it.
I think in that sense on my own, like when I'm not writing music, I'm sure it bleeds into our songs, but I don't like to make it obvious.
In the draft of Smells Like Teen Spirit, there are some notes which touch upon this topic. For example, here we can read, "You have been warned. The representatives of gluttony will be given 24 hours to vacuum and shave their ways, or leave, or they will be weeded out." But it's unclear if those particular notes were draft lyrics or just something else that he wrote on the same page as the draft. Also, the original treatment for the music video was going to showcase Kurt's stance against gluttony. It's important to note that he was very involved with all of Nirvana's music videos, often giving precise storyboards to the directors.
When I come up with an idea for a video, I want it to be translated exactly how I see it in my mind.
That is a medium that's difficult for a band to have control over because you don't really, the video is in the hands of the director kind of thing.
Not with Kurt Cobain around.
Yeah, I'm a little Napoleon.
He's a little Napoleon, right.
So they really come out as per you wanted them to represent the song kind of thing?
Well, yeah, not with Chris Novoselic around.
That's right.
In his personal notes, he wrote, "Oh yeah, gluttony. I almost forgot gluttony. The band now has an image, the anti-gluttony, materialism, and consumerism image, which we plan to incorporate in all of our videos. The first one, Smells Like Teen Spirit, will have us walking through a mall throwing thousands of dollars into the air as mall-goers scramble like vultures to collect as much as they can get their hands on. Then we walk into a jewelry store and smash it up in anti-materialist-fueled punk rock violence. Then we go to a pep assembly at a high school, and the cheerleaders have anarchy A's on their sweaters, and the custodian militant revolutionaries hand out guns with flowers in the barrels to all the cheering students, who file down to the center of court and throw their money and jewelry into a big pile. Then we set it on fire and run out of the building screaming." Kurt listed the various settings and material needed for that version of the video, although of course in the end, only the school gym and the cheerleaders were retained.
There are a lot of kids like in high school who are listening to the same music as their parents, It's really gross. It's not as bad as it was just a few years ago. I remember, the same kids in high school listening to Bruce Springsteen, and so were their parents. There's no generation gap at all. And I think that there's just starting to become a generation gap again.
The generation gap was a really important topic for Kurt, saying that the 80s was the first time since the 40s that the kids were listening to the same music as their parents. He thought that was a really bad thing because it meant that the previous generation were controlling the entertainment industry and hence were not reflecting the views and opinions of the younger generation. This drove his approach to music, saying he felt a duty to describe what he felt about his surroundings, his generation, and people his age.
No, I don't think we've done a damn dent in the generation gap at all. I'm really ashamed of that. Yeah, hang our heads in shame.
It looks like Kurt was even planning to write this in the thank you notes for Nevermind. Thanks to unencouraging parents everywhere for giving their children the will to show them up. And thanks to the political figures and those in the entertainment industry who are the representatives of gluttony. In Smells Like Teen Spirit, it's apparent in the title of the song and just kind of the rebellious vibe of the chorus. Kurt would often say that lyrics were secondary for him and that the most important was the feeling that the music conveyed and like the delivery of the vocals rather than, the lyrics themselves.
I've just noticed that people expect more of a thematic angle with our music. They always want to read into it, and before I was just using pieces of poetry and just garbage, just stuff that just would spew out of me at the time. And a lot of times when I write lyrics, it's just at the last second because I'm really lazy.
In fact, 1 month before recording Teen Spirit, the lyrics had barely been written yet. In the live debut version of the song, we can hear different lyrics, and most of the time, it seems Kurt is just singing gibberish. Generation gap topic is much more obvious in the draft lyrics, with this line in the chorus, "We're so lazy and so stupid, blame our parents." Kurt said about the song, "We still feel as if we're teenagers because we don't follow the guidelines of what's expected of us to be adults." It also has kind of a teen revolutionary theme. The music video also refers to this, with a teen rebellion taking place in a school.
Did you have anything to do in elaborating it, doing it?
We thought of the whole idea. It's just our idea was to have a pep assembly scene that's gone bad.
Kurt was inspired by the movie Over the Edge and the Ramones movie Rock and Roll High School, which have a similar theme of like teenage rebellion.
Our parents are in control of the entertainment industry, and there's no generation gap anymore because the kids and the parents like the same music, and it's really frightening to us. So maybe that's what we tried to incorporate into the video.
Kurt was like, he was counterculture, but then he also really wanted to be really famous. Like, he was like a windmill, and he would just say one thing and then he would like change his mind on it, and then I would like even point it out and say, "Do you know what you just said?" He'd laugh because he knew he was busted. Like, you just contradicted yourself, right? But you hear it in the lyrics too.
This duality in Kurt Cobain appeared in various aspects. In this article, the author mentioned in person, as in his songs, Cobain ricochets between opposites. He is wary and unguarded, sincere and sarcastic, thin-skinned and insensitive, aware of his popularity and trying to ignore it. Kurt himself would say that his lyrics were contradictions, and this is the case for Smells Like Teen Spirit too, with Kurt saying, "The entire song is made up of contradictory ideas, it's just making fun of the thought of having a revolution. But it's a nice thought." In his draft notes, Kurt annotated the tracklist of Nevermind with the various moods, again showcasing that kind of duality of his personality.
This angel from In Utero really captures the split personality and soul of Kurt Cobain. It's ethereal, and yet its guts are hanging out. That's Kurt Cobain.
No.
What happened?
I've always been a nice guy.
Maybe you were afraid to show it before. How's that?
Well, what? I don't know. You've never met me before.
I never met
so.
you before, but I know that other people who have had the opportunity to interview, and they said, "Oh, he hates doing interviews. He's not going to want to talk about anything."
Well,
and I said, "Well, whatever. Who knows?" And you're just like exactly the opposite of.
It just depends on what mood I'm in, really. Yeah, I'm kind of a moody person.
Anyway, that was just my take. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to like and subscribe. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one.